Welcome, everyone who's not here for the usual content. I'm gonna be making one last video before I'm gonna be sent out to the field to do God knows what. But yeah, this is gonna be a review about one of my favorite movies of all time. It's currently in my top 10, but I don't know the specific order for that yet. I recently rewatched this with my dad, who likes modern movies. He can't stand movies without color. And he actually liked this, so yeah, I'm pretty proud. So this movie is High and Low by legendary director Akira Kurosawa, who's mostly known for making samurai films, but for this one, he goes for a more contemporary, at the time, crime police procedural type movie. It's black and white, it's in Japanese, so you're gonna have to do a lot of reading, and it stars basically Kurosawa's usuals. You have the main guy, Toshiro Mifune, his heir, Tatsuya Nakadai, his leading lady, usually, Kyoko Kagawa. We have Takashi Shimura, and that one guy who kind of looks like my cousin. He's like Isao Kimura, yeah, that's his name. He's the young samurai in Seven Samurai, but yeah, he's a usual, and we have like a lot more, but I sort of can't place the face, I forget their names, so yeah. So the leading man, Toshiro Mifune, plays Kingo Gondo, who is an executive of the largest shoe company in Japan. I think it's called National Shoes. And yeah, this guy came from poverty and he rose up the ranks mostly by marrying rich. But yeah, he knows how to use his money. He's a really clever dude, hardworking dude, and he actually knows how to make the actual shoes. So he's completely babyface here. So we start off with this conversation between him and his co-workers, co-executives, but kind of more of co-owners of the company since they own percentages of stock and they're planning some big political machinations. But good guy Gondo here doesn't want any part of it, and then he actually has cards up his sleeve. He has his own plans, but I'm not gonna spoil it any more than I just did. This actually happens at the start of the movie, but I like how everything that happens from the start to the end plays up to the ending. It all converges at the end. But the main story is a kidnapping, how they save the kidnapped, and how they catch the kidnapper. And all of this is done very realistically because there's no cheesy action scenes with some highly choreographed fights. I don't even think there was a fight in the movie. It was a realistic police operation, and you know what? We need more movies like this. So yeah, from the part where the police are listening in on the conversation, they play it really cool. There's no crazy facial expressions. There's no zooms into faces that make it so obvious that I got it, something like that. It's just some police doing their jobs, listening to a conversation, and giving us their observations, their input on the situation. And I love this scene where they're all in a meeting hall. I don't know what this is called. They're all in a place where it's super hot. There are fans, but they're all smoking, so it doesn't make sense. It's summer in Japan, which is as hot as where I'm from. And they're just all there with various divisions of the station doing their jobs. And they investigate on the smallest of details that us normal people won't be able to see. And it's interesting to see Japan in a place and time that's completely alien to what it is today. Because this is set in Yokohama. I've never been here, but I've been to some places in Japan, and fuck, it doesn't look like this. This actually looks like Manila today. It's not pretty. There's slums everywhere, some factories polluting the air, and then just one big house that lords over everything. And then we also get scenes in the city itself, in the day and in the night. The clothes the characters are wearing are, what my grandfather used to wear. And again, it puts you in that time and place that you'll never see in person ever. I don't know how to judge acting, but I'll judge it like the way I judge pro wrestling, like how they sell and stuff. It's weird. But yeah, the acting here very believable. Even the kids are good, and you can really like feel for the plight of the characters in danger, and even the bad guy, which I'll talk about later when I'll lift the spoiler warning. I have a spoiler warning now. I'm going to talk about the bad guy later. And this movie touches on a lot of things like addiction, poverty, the class divide, but again, the bad guy sort of doesn't make sense. It's the most unrealistic part of this entire movie, and I'm gonna talk about him right now. So I'm gonna lift the spoiler warning. So if you don't want to get spoiled, I suggest you leave now because I'm gonna talk about the ending. Okay, so spoiler warning lifted. The bad guy, we see him right after the good guys get the kidnapped kid back. It's not really clear what his profession is when you look at him the first time, since we don't get like any hints in his room. It turns out he's a medical student and actually a medical intern. And it doesn't make sense how a person who can pay for the tuition of like a very, very financially demanding occupation, major, whatever you want to call it, it's not believable that someone like this would like resort to stealing, because mostly well off or like maybe scholars pursue this profession. Maybe he's just too smart, but I don't know anyone who would risk this. So yeah, it's the most unrealistic part of the movie. But his whole modus operandi is just no match for like a whole police station of like very, very anal policemen. These guys are so anal about details that I don't know. Come on. Who notices this stuff? But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anymore. That's all you're gonna get. You're gonna have to watch the movie itself. It's like 2 hours and 23 minutes. It's like decently long for my standards, but it's very much worth the watch. It keeps you at the edge of your seat, even if what they're doing is mostly just talking. So yeah, that's my review for High and Low. I suggest you watch the rest of Kurosawa's movies, except the propaganda ones and the lower depths. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for engagement. Share if you don't know me. Hit that bell notification for future videos. And please, watch my shit.